G'day everyone, welcome to a new episode of Eco Convos with Dan. Now our guest today is Jacki Hinchley from Blue Dog Farm, and we talk about her main product, which is really fancy salad. So that's stuff that she grows herself, and it's a seasonal based salad that you can often find at cafes and restaurants around the place, but you can also buy it through the Reiko Markets. So we talk about that too, and how you can get in touch, why they were set up and how they work. It's a really fascinating conversation. As well as this, we also touch on FAN, which is the Food and Agribusiness Network. We've had another conversation about that before. We had a whole podcast episode devoted to FAN, but we talk about it a little bit more and how that involvement actually works for individual farmers. So, great chat. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Look forward to talking to you soon. Everyone, welcome to Eco Convos with Dan. I'm your host, Dan Vanderwood. We are here live today at Mooloolaba just for something different. And we're here with the ever fabulous Jacki Hinchley from Blue Dog Farm. Jacki, thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
My absolute pleasure. Look, this is actually the second time we've had that, because we had some technical glitches the first time. So we figured we'll change it up a little bit. Go for the sea air, might make it a little bit better for us. We might have a bit more luck.
It is so nice to be here.
It's a gorgeous day. Look.
I can smell the sea. Yeah. I'm just missing an Aperol spritzer and bare feet.
That's right. We're off to get a beer afterwards. So, Jacki, you're from Blue Dog Farm. So first up, tell us a little bit about your farm, where it is and what you're actually doing there.
Blue Dog Farm is at Mount Mee, which is just an hour outside of Brisbane and an hour from the Sunshine Coast. And we've got a small holding of 30 acres. And from there, I have got Blue Dog Farm Really Fancy Salad. It's a market garden, very close to our house. It's very bio-intensive and labour-intensive. And we've got a small mob of cattle whose meat I sell direct to my customers in boxes.
Fantastic. So you've been there for how long?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
And so you're really fancy salad mix. What's actually in that?
About 14 different crops.
Is it seasonally dependent?
Yeah. In winter, there's more kale. In summer, more lettuce and herbs. It's the most important feature of the salad, or the secret, is that I really rely on the plants being well nourished so that they have a better quality nutrient value.
Fantastic. So now one of the things that we've talked about in the past, is that importance of not having chemicals and actually being real food.
Yep, got to be real food.
So why is that important for you?
You just can't eat rubbish. Yeah. And there is no reason for a small farm like mine to use chemicals. I use various tools and advice from mentors to be able to balance the soil so that the plants are healthier, and therefore the salad, really fancy salad mix, is healthier for the children and the families that are eating it.
I've got to say, it's absolutely fantastic. We took some home.
Did you have some?
Oh yeah, we took some home from the place when we were there. And It was beautiful. I lived on it for a couple of days. Absolutely beautiful. And so, in terms of that change, that flavour that comes out of healthy soil, it helps keep bugs away as well, because they're looking for something that's going to be a little bit on the
easy to bite into.
That's right.
So if the cell walls of the plant have got plenty of calcium in them, then the bugs that want to eat the plant are going to blunt their teeth.
Yep.
The plant's protected.
Don't need pesticides. Don't need herbicides.
Don't need fungicides.
That's it. These things, if you're doing it well, it's going to look after you as well.
Yep.
So that's great. So, Jacki, how did you get into this in the first place? Have you always been farming?
Yep.
Always?
I grew up on 40,000 acres at Cunnamulla, and I was in the 70s. I had a fairly traditional childhood where Mum taught us correspondence school. We did School of the Air, and we all went to boarding school when we were just heading into high school.
Yeah.
The childhood was really immersed in the country, the climate, the animals.
Yeah.
We were a very small family, and didn't have TV and much of a social life. Most of that was, making friends with sheep. Don't go there. And then even when I went to boarding school, I was always a bush kid.
Yeah.
After that, I went out with a sailor and I ended up marrying him, and we're still married and we have 3 kids, and that took me away from the bush for a while. But now I'm permanently at Mount Mee. I don't think I'll be going anywhere.
Fantastic. It's a beautiful place you've got there.
Yeah.
It really is. And you see you're absolutely happy. And you've even got the little shop outside. Little stall outside your property as well.
Yep. Well, it's a farm gate stall that's a 24-hour shop for the locals.
That's wonderful.
So sometimes I hear a car outside 9 o'clock at night and someone's coming home late and they just want to make sure that they can stick some salad in their lunchbox in the morning.
Already, yeah. That's brilliant. So, Jacki, you're involved in a few other organisations as well. So it's not just your farm yourself. You're actually involved. It's a fan you're involved with as well.
Yeah. So I am really lucky that Food and Agribusiness Network, which used to be based on the Sunshine Coast, has just changed its model so that it has 4 clusters under the main headquarters, and there's Gympie, Sunshine Coast, Noosa and Moreton Bay. And I've been fortunate enough to have given the position of looking after the members of the Moreton Bay region.
That's really exciting. So what sort of things is Stan doing for your area in the Moreton Bay? What sort of initiatives have you been putting in place?
So one thing we need to do is expand production, so scaling existing producers, but also finding new small producers who can perhaps introduce new enterprises into the area.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So, and how long have you been involved?
A year. 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
But that's some pretty exciting things happen in that time as well.
Well, the Moreton Bay Regional Council has a new model. So they have as one of their 4 pillars, food and agribusiness, and that just shows that they're willing to put a great deal of effort into supporting the nurseries, turf, strawberries, pineapples. All of those industries that Moreton Bay is known for are going to get a lot more support from the Moreton Bay Regional Council.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So getting real food out to people. Through restaurants and through cafes, everything as well.
Hospitality has really started to demand a lot more local produce just in the last 3 months. That's really exciting because they have the volume to be able to consistently demand the kind of supply that a producer can put up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things. It's a really exciting time because we're finding people are getting a little bit more conscious about what they're putting in their bodies. I think the whole pandemic has actually caused a lot of people just to slow down a little bit. We've been so busy to say, well, we want to have real food. We want to support our local businesses as well. It's not just about what we can grab from the supermarket. And that's exciting to happen, on the hospitality level as well.
Yeah, I think it's been a natural progression where, society is demanding better food, and that has been filtering down from the very wealthy and the very able, those who've been able to access special, high-quality food, and now it's going to be made available to everyone, which is fantastic.
Well, once again, when there's that demand there, production can step up. You can actually be able to get things a lot cheaper because you haven't got waste and you haven't got those things. So I think that probably moves into then, the other thing you're involved with is Reiko Markets.
Yeah.
So that's such an exciting thing. We've talked about it on a couple of other episodes before. But for people who might have missed that, can you tell us what Reiko is and how it works?
It is that there are many Reiko rings around Moreton Bay. It is a closed Facebook group where consumers can source locally produced food directly. So they order through a Facebook group, they pay for it online, and then they're able to drive through, in most cases, drive through a local pickup and receive their goods directly from the vendors.
That's fantastic. So it's fast, it's convenient, but that's going to work for the producers too.
It's a great support for producers because farmers markets traditionally meant that you had to get up 4 o'clock in the morning and take a whole lot of stock that you may not sell.
Yeah.
And you also have to invest in point of sale equipment and market fees and a whole day of labour.
Yeah.
But Reiko Pickup means that you can cut your orders off the night before, only take what you've sold.
Yeah, so you know exactly.
Take it in your car boot.
Yeah.
Open the boot. Throw it through people's windows because it is drive-through.
Yeah, that's just brilliant. So it's actually saving things for people. You're not wasting any food. The idea it's prepaid as well. So you're cutting down on those contact points to keep the government happy and to keep everyone else happy as well. It's actually working for so many people. It means you're also stopping people from having to go to the farmers markets and saying, what I was looking for isn't there.
Yep.
We've now got to go somewhere else because you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah. It's a very, very nice way for baby businesses that may be starting up at a very, very small scale to get going. In fact, sometimes we have children who are picking lemons from their backyard, advertising for sales. It's nice.
That's brilliant. And you're getting to meet your customers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I know talking to Nick Holiday about it as well, and what he was saying was the fact that he's got the customers who come every week. He knows them by name.
Yep.
They're coming in.
You know their dogs. You know their kids. Yep.
You keep up with them and stay in touch. So that's a really, really great way to do it. So, what sort of other suppliers are you getting at the markets?
Oh gosh, we have flowers, breakfast cereals, pork, eggs, lamb, chicken, barramundi.
Right.
Really fancy salad is there every week. And we also have got a lot of ready-made meals that are being made by local chefs and caterers, and avocados, citrus, dog treats,
really whatever you want.
Dumplings. I tell you what, the Food and Wine Festival in Moreton Bay was cancelled during the last COVID lockdown, and we had a lot of new members join because their gig for the weekend had been closed down and they had a lot of extra stock. And from that, we have benefited from the most amazing Chinese dumplings.
Fantastic.
They're great.
The steamed ones, the ones that taste like a cloud.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep, beautiful.
So it really is kind of a one-stop shop. That's brilliant. When you think of any particular businesses who have been coming, you might want to plug who've been coming to the Reiko Market.
All of them. There's Monica from Cocature Chocolates, Kurt from Project Salubrious, Nick Holiday from Belvedere Farm. We have Serena from Bao Dumplings across the river, and then there are 4 very small businesses that operate out of the Food Connect kitchens across at Salisbury, and that's Mixed Kefir. You're really testing me.
Oh,
Indie Treats, Hello Sweetness, and Alice's Sunshine Organic Miso. We have got Tabs's Seeds. She makes a mix of curried seeds to be sprinkled. Janessa's from Basque Granola. Honestly, this is too much. I love them all. I feel bad because I've missed some out. But they've become my family.
Yes.
We all stand together every weekend, and we carry each other's goods for each other if for some reason we can't make it to the next pickup place. And it's been one of the most wonderful relationships of my life.
That is absolutely beautiful. And the idea that you can go in and you can go somewhere, you just have to be there for a couple of hours.
1 hour.
1 hour while people are going. So you've got multiple points around the place as well that you'll do the Reiko drive-thrus. Yeah,
on Saturday mornings we have Sanford from 9 until 10, Debra from 11 until 12, and then North Lakes from 12 until 1. And there are a couple of others, Mullaney and Red Hill as well.
So they're all coming along.
I will say that Yarram and Warwick and Stanthorpe will be starting up soon as well. It's not just Moreton Bay.
That's brilliant. So, look, this is something that really can pick up and can happen anywhere.
Well, we're hoping for some funding so that we can take it nationally, so that we can have some kind of an impact on rural and regional Australia. Most of our vendors and customers are women, and really this might be a good way to promote industry in rural and regional Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's such a great organisation. It works for everybody. It works with the vendors. It works with the customers. It works with the community.
and it has built such a community as well. So it's something that can absolutely be modelled everywhere, and really absolutely should be, should be funded. Whereabouts are you trying to get the funding from?
I think that's a secret for now.
Okay, all right. Well, we need to. When it comes out, we want to support that as much as possible.
It's Century 21 in Gympie.
So good on you, Billy. Off you go. We'll give him a push. So Jacki, you're such a passionate person about what you're doing and how you're doing. Is that something that's always been there? That want to push people, want to help people out, and push community.
I don't know. I would really love to see my area, which I would say is southeast Queensland, valuing its small holding land more. I never want to see a purple top plant again.
Yeah.
And I believe that kind of change is going to come from people valuing their land through learning about how to manage their land. They need to be more interested in their land to be bothered learning about it. And so possibly if they were doing small scale production, sharing ponies, opening fences, rotational grazing, planting more trees, keeping their water clean. There will be change, and there'll be stronger communities and more local food and a bit of diversity, and I think that'd be really nice for our children to see as well.
Yeah. Is that something that you see happening a little bit more? That interest in saying maybe we can do something a little bit different?
To be honest, no.
Okay. No,
but it is changing. It is changing. It's mostly the people who come from the city who want a tree change. And live in the country forever.
Yep.
But when they get there, there's a lot to learn. How can you keep a pony on 2.5 acres? I don't know. You can't. So there's a lot to learn, and I will say that there are a lot more resources now for learning how to do that than there used to be. So I have a lot of hope.
That's great. Look, there's contacts and whatnot out there. I think one of the things we've talked about before is Give Me Land Care. I know there's other organisations which are doing the same thing. They're doing a blockies course.
Yep.
We're running for 10 weeks, going to different places, experiencing different things, learning how to do, learning how to do something that's a little bit maybe out of left field for some. But to introduce someone to an idea, set them up with someone who is saying, well, this is what I'm doing at the moment. And if you want to know how to do it, come to me. I'm happy to teach.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're finding in this agroecology group of people. There is
that's a Nick Holiday word.
It is
agroecology.
It's a Nick Holiday word. It's a Randall Green word as well.
Yeah.
So but we're finding that there is that in this community of people who are doing something that is more ethical, that's something that's better for the environment, better for people. That idea of being able to learn and say, hey, I'm more than happy to have a conversation, more than happy to teach. That openness and that willingness is universal.
There's so much generosity. Yep. I think it is more, the onus is more on the people who are doing the tree change to really honestly examine their context. What is the size of land that you have? What is your family context? How much time do you have? What do you enjoy? And taking it from there.
There's something really helpful advice for a lot of people. Is those taking in those few little steps of looking into exactly what you've got, what you enjoy, what you want to get out of it, and why you want to do it.
Yeah, that's right. How long are you going to do it for?
Yeah.
And how many people are going to be involved?
Yeah.
In our case, my husband flies in and flies out, and it was only me, so it wasn't going to be a big intensive operation. And for the time that our children were in school, I had to be flexible about it, so I could take them to school, and Blue Dog Farm just fitted in around looking after our family.
Yeah.
And now children have left school and I can go full tilt.
Yeah, That's all right.
I've been released.
So, but that's the thing. That's the other side that's great is that you can be scalable. If you can say, well, this is what I have the time and facility to be able to do it. This is what I can do. This is what I can put into it. This is how I can make it work. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And for someone who's wanting to make that change, what would your advice be to someone who is saying, well, hey, I've had enough of what I'm doing at the moment. I want to get it something a little bit different, similar to what you're doing now.
Look, I am not qualified to give anyone advice. I'm still making mistakes every single day. I think the biggest tip I could give you is don't get big animals too soon.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Give us a reason why.
You can lose them. They can take off into the scrub and you never see them again, and that's embarrassing.
Yeah. People wanting to get more involved as consumers, ways that they can actually support the small boutique farms, support these things. Oftentimes, I know a lot of people are scared off because they're paying a little bit more for the produce. Is that true, or is there reasons why?
In the last 4 months, 4 decent-sized food service venues, that would be Suncoast Hotels, the Caboolture Sports Club, Comiskey's, and just yesterday, the Crystal Book Vincent, which is part of the Crystal Book Collections Group hotels, have all joined fan so that they can access locally produced food within a 3.5-hour radius of Brisbane. It's a really big deal.
Yeah,
and
huge.
They would love farmers, as long as all of this is food safe, they would love farmers, backyard producers to walk in through their back door, meet the chef and say, I have a tub of avocados.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Would you like it? They want to tell that story.
That's really exciting.
We've been waiting for that for years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's so exciting because what that shows is that's a people power thing that's working. The demand's there. So now the big players are actually starting to listen and say, well, this is what we need to do. So they're getting out there supporting ethical food and ethical produce.
Yeah. They want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
The issue we have now is that we don't have enough supply. So we need more pig farmers, chicken farmers, market gardeners. And we need a lot more food production as well. So processing of local food into a value-added product.
That's brilliant. So for someone who's maybe wanting to get into it or is actually already doing something but doesn't know where to go, how to start, how to actually get their produce out there.
Yep.
There is options.
Call me.
Yep.
I'll hook you up.
Get on to Jacki at Blue Dog Farm. that's absolutely brilliant. So,
I'll call your local cafe, and I know that they will be very pleased to take your produce, and they will pay well.
that's great.
They're not trying to rip you off. They will pay fairly.
That's brilliant. So where's this going? Where's it headed in the future? Is it just about expansion?
I reckon it might end up with no one going to the doctor anymore because they're not sick.
Nutrition is finally sort of...
No diabetes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that goes back to what we were saying right at the start about by having the healthy soils and producing food that's more resilient, but it also it fills you up more because it's more nutrient dense. Is there any other benefits straight up?
If you know where your food comes from and it's locally produced, you have a better connection to your community, and that is so underestimated. If you're walking into Woolworth, if you're walking into a supermarket, you may just not know any of the producers of the food that you're buying.
Yeah.
And that may be quite a soulless experience.
Absolutely. So buying your stuff in the pre-packaged plastic containers. There was chances are was actually picked 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And chemically ripened.
Yeah. No, we don't want to do that.
No.
We don't want to do that. We want to know our producers. We want to know what their values are. We want to know their kids' names. And we want to know that they care about what goes into the food that they're producing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can always go and see them as well.
Yeah.
I welcome people to come and have a look at the farm, at my farm.
Yeah.
And I also welcome people to duplicate what I'm doing because I can't produce enough really fancy salad.
So in terms of that, the idea of saying, well, you're not actually going in competition with anyone else. You're actually you're working cooperatively to fill a need.
We call it co-opetition.
Co-opetition. I love it. That's fantastic. So you're dressed up. You're all looking rather fancy tonight. So for those of you who are just listening to the podcast, you wouldn't know. But for those watching, you obviously do. So what's going on?
Well, not only am I dressed up, but I am at the coast because tonight I am joining the rest of the fan team in supporting Emma Greenhatch, who is the fan general manager, at the Sunshine Coast Business Women's Awards.
That's very exciting.
It's going to be a big night.
It'll be huge. And Emma's brilliant. She's deserving all the accolades. She's actually been on the podcast as well.
Yep.
So, she's absolutely brilliant. So, is there anything in particular that she's being nominated for? Is it just
Businesswoman of the Year?
Wow.
And she deserves it.
Yeah. Well, good luck tonight, Emma. Good on you. So by the time this comes out, we'll know the results. So
we will know the results.
Sure we will. Pop some champagne.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant. All right. So Jackie, look, thank you so much for your time. I know you're about to scoot off to go and be fabulous. But is there anything that you wanted to bring up that we haven't talked about so far?
I would like to thank you for doing this podcast because you're connecting people who are doing wonderful stuff all over Southeast Queensland with each other and also with the broader community. And people are looking for it. They're looking for solutions. And if those solutions are local, they're more relevant, more accessible, and have more meaning. So once again, you are connecting community as well.
Thank you. Speechless and flattered, but it's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's why this podcast actually exists.
Yeah, I know.
To get the information out there.
Yeah.
The information is there. People are, like I said, more than happy to share. But to try and collate all that and have a bit of build a network.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Build a network. Yep.
So Jackie, we do on every episode. We do a 60 and 60, so six questions in 60 seconds.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go through it nice and quick.
Okay.
All right,
go.
You ready?
Yep.
What's a personal habit that contributes to your success?
I sleep very well.
Excellent. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Always look after your health because money comes and goes. If you look after your health, then you will end up being very happy.
Right. What's the one thing you're most fired up about today?
The Sunshine Coast Women's Business Women's Awards.
Yeah, excellent. So if you could recommend one book or podcast, what would it be and why?
The best podcast I've ever heard about is yours.
All right, so is there another one? Because people who are listening to this one have already
Right now I'm listening to all of the AgriFutures podcasts.
AgriFuture podcast. Mm-hmm. All right, so what sort of personal goals are you hoping to achieve in the next 12 months?
Wow. Well then, I would love to see Reiko all over Queensland.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we will see, I'd like to see another 50-odd producers all contributing to the health and development of Moreton Bay.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be taking 2 days off a week.
That's absolutely fantastic. So, last question is a mystery question. So what secret conspiracy would you love to start?
Oh, wow. I wish I had some time to think about that. A secret conspiracy. Oh, Dan. I can't. Do you have one?
Well, do I have one?
Yep.
Yeah, well, mine's not too much of a secret, though. Is that the chemical companies are actually out to kill us. But that's not much.
No, that's not a secret.
That's really well known.
Not a secret. No.
So, look, one of the things we were talking about really, I just want to touch on it really quickly. So, in terms of the Reiko Markets, what's going on around the place, how are we able to start something like that in our local? We don't have anything like that in Gympie at the moment. I think it's absolutely brilliant. There's obviously one further south of us.
I've heard whispers.
You've heard whispers? All right.
All you need to do is get a Facebook group started. invite some producers, ask if they would like to be a part of it, and just start. Word of mouth in a community like Gympie would be incredibly powerful at just propelling it into what would become a mainstream avenue for procuring local food.
Wonderful.
It's easy.
Not just Gympie, that could be going anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Reiko Gympie, that would be one of my goals, actually. Yeah, Reiko Gympie. I'll give you 6 weeks, actually.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Countdown to start.
Gympie's firing. It's not just the Murray Valley, it's Gympie itself.
Absolutely. Jacki, thank you so much for coming along. You've got to head off.
I do.
And with that, I want to say thank you again.
Thank you, Dan.
Absolutely brilliant. And for all the people out there, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you go and follow Jacki on Facebook, and jump on if you're local. You can go and check out some of her really fancy salad. And,
You'll live till 104 eating my really fancy salad every week.
And it's a personal guarantee.
Because I am 104.
Doing exceptionally well. Thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Cheers. I really enjoyed this chat, and we had it there at the beach there at Mooloolaba because, why not? Anyway, make sure you give us a like, give us 5-star ratings there on Apple, follow, share it, whatever you want to do on social media. Really, really appreciate it because every little bit helps. Anyway, I look forward to talking to you next week. Cheers for now.